Today I said to myself I will do a 1300 3S milliamp battery test on this RC airplane. So far I only fly 2200 and it's been working just great. The plane has been feeling just balanced the right way. But I just want to try 1300, so let's go outside and get this one up in the air. So it did get up much sooner than with a 1300 compared to a 10200. And as usual, I do have a lot of telemetry warnings, and I just get this one off the grass. So it's just reminding me of lower voltage. And it's something I experienced on this Habu then. It's like to just suck the battery. I mean, the battery is not really warm after flight, but then I'm not pushing it 100%, so often I have this like 10.5 volt warnings, which is kind of irritating, but it is what it is. And this, I mean, with the 1300 it does feel lighter and just a little bit tail heavy also, so it doesn't feel as solid as with a 2200. Make really nice and tight flying, kind of slow also with thanks to the rudder. And the way I set up mine then with the max elevator throw, some expo on the surfaces, I think it's a really well controlled RC airplane. I mean, I'm flying this with great confidence. It's not difficult in any way. Just to get off grass can be a little bit of a challenge, but it does eventually just jump up in the air, and landings are also kind of interesting on grass at least. And today then with the 1300 I set a timer for 4 minutes. I'm not pushing this one 100%, I'm just going, you know, maybe 60-70%. Then I put it 100%, and then I get an instant warning then from the AVN speed controller inside. And that's the thing that makes me, you know, having less fun with this one because of this telemetry warnings. Of course I can just turn them off, but they are like a safety feature. And I also have a live readout out of power draw, so it draws like around 27 amps. And as with most EDF RC airplanes, they do suck the battery dry now. I just have my 3S batteries just slightly warm. So for instance then on my Thunderbolt A10 from E-Flite, which features dual 50mm engines, I mean the battery is really hot in that RC airplane after flight. I'm just taking it easy. There's some gusts today, so with a bit of wind I cannot fly too slow. So when you have no wind, I think you can fly this really slow and nice, but it feels a little bit unsteady with wind. I'm not really pushing this one more than like 60-70%. You can more or less just move around any way you please in the sky, and the rudder makes just a whole lot of different. Visibility is also good. The stripes underneath the wing and these orange wingtips. Let's glide kind of well also, so time's up, time to get this one down. It's always interesting. More or less I just line up, kill the throttle and then just flare at the end, and hopefully a good landing. Which was okay this time. I have to admit that this 1300 milliamp battery, at least how I set this one up, wasn't really a good match. I think that it became more tail heavy and not as steady as with the 2200 milliamp battery. And still I think that you could probably just at least do a 4-minute flight time on the 1300 then. I much more appreciate them to have like 5 or 6 minutes flight time on the 2200. So I probably won't do 1300 anymore, but it was a fun experiment. And certainly I think that if you could just move the battery all the way forward, you certainly just could do 1300, but I don't see the point as the 2200 works so great. So Just some thoughts then about 1300 on this Habu SS 50mm.